So this is the first time I've used the canoe barrel system, and we ended up procuring a bunch of barrels and some harnesses. This one is on loan from a buddy. The one in the center, this is a Coghlan's. The one in the center is Ostrom, and the one on the far left there is a level 6 bag. So the Ostrom came from Andy of Recreational Barrel Works, ordered directly from him. You can find his website under Recreational Barrel Works. He supplies the barrels to Mech as well. The level 6 harness is, we purchased that from Mech, and Coghlan's probably from Crappy Tire. Working with these things over the last 10 days on this trip, the barrels have been a real source of sort of feelings of security. They're absolutely dry. They lock down, they float, and I guess, you know, you could sort of say that a dry bag offers many of the same features, but I don't think that they have the same immersion protection. Plus a lot of things that are delicate. They seem to, in the hard-sided barrels, they seem to work better. And I actually prefer, from the dry bags that I've carried, I actually prefer the barrel over just a dry bag without some kind of stiffening rod system that you typically find in backpacks. So we've been using these over the last 10 days. Becky and I have been fighting over the Ostrom harness constantly. Unfortunately, Ostrom no longer makes bags or barrel harnesses, although the last time I talked to Andy on the phone, he had indicated he had a few in stock. Really stiff shoulder pads, and the sewing on this system is really superb. So when we started off this trip, this was our food barrel. It was by far the heaviest. It was so heavy that we broke a handle pulling the barrel out of the, actually loading it up into the plane, of all the best places for the handle to fail. But this is a great harness. It also has a neat little feature. There's a top strap here that connects over the lid system, and if you connect that over the clip, that actually locks the clip in place. That's the one, and we've actually had a few times pulling the barrels out, and you kind of like drag them if you're dragging them on the side. Sometimes that clip will clip open and pop the barrel lid open, which is not a good thing. Really good padding here. When you first put this on, this seems to butt up against the spine a little bit, but then it always seems to find itself. And then he's got a head strap that connects here. I took it off, I didn't like it, but that can help you bolster things. Another really awesome feature of these packs are these yellow lines here, which are basically just provide you fine level adjustments for lifting the strap and basically keeping that kind of top of the pack and the top of the barrel close to your shoulders, because the other ones don't seem to have that adjusted system. Well, they do a little bit, but these ones, especially with the yellow lines, you can see it right away and make that adjustment on the fly. This is a large. They come in different sizes, but the actual waistband and the length in which this wraps around the hips does indeed accommodate larger people, whereas the other ones were a little bit lacking. Really great system. These ones cost about $200, and I think it's worth it. And again, it's too bad that these things are out of business. We're going to try and buy a second one for a large barrel. The next that we have is the level 6, and I should say all three. I don't know, I'm not 100% sure about the Coghlan's, but these two will accommodate both 30-liter and 60-liter barrels. So the level 6, less padding around the shoulder pads here. That doesn't seem to bother me too much, and it does have these lifting straps that help get you closer to the barrel, but they're not effective. Once you put the barrel on, you can't reach these things, whereas the Ostrom, it gives you enough of the looseness of this thing so that you can reach it, cinch it down to where it feels good. I don't really understand their buckling system here. Is kind of like this double barrel loop, and for me it's okay. For my wife it's a little bit hard for her to get it around around her waist and hips, and there's not really a lot of distance along this hip pad here. Again, for a smaller barrel I think this is fully sufficient, and for the larger barrel I think it'll do the job. It's certainly done the job for us, but it was not as comfortable and doesn't take as a large load as easily as the Ostrom does. This one costs, though, quite a bit less. It's $75, again available at MEC, as opposed to $200 for the Ostrom. This one's the Coghlan's. Now the Coghlan's, interesting enough, has more padding over here and here than the others. Has a lot of padding on the shoulder blades and a lot of padding on the hip belt. But the hip belt is really tight, kind of a suggestion of a hip belt. Unless you really live in body size, this thing doesn't really quite wrap around your waist. The buckles on these things are just crap, so they just pull apart. They don't lock. It's just garbage. We've had it on the 30-liter. I don't know again if this accommodates a 60-liter barrel, but on the 30-liter barrel, the top of it always interferes with the ring, and it makes locking down the ring and the lid quite difficult. You're always fighting with it. You could probably tell I don't like the Coghlan's very much. It does have a handy little pocket here, and you can see that my friend gave this to me, but the top little ring, it was like that when he gave it to me, but it pulled right out because sorry, it's not Coghlan's, it's North 49. I'll put a correction on that screen. North 49. But this little pocket is kind of handy, although it's already broken. And then the other thing that is annoying about this is the straps cover the handles. And you could try and pull them out, but then you've got handles sticking out. Anyways, this costs about $30. So if you're on a budget, this is probably okay, and it's certainly probably okay for a 30-liter barrel, but I'd honestly recommend going to level 6 before going to this one, even with a 30-liter barrel, unless you're really cash strapped. It's just it's typical, junky outdoor equipment made for the least cost, whereas the other ones have a little bit more thought put into them, a little bit better engineering. But overall, I really like the canoe barrels. As I say, I think I'm going to purchase, because we actually have 4 barrels, so I think we're going to purchase another Ostrom if we can, and a level 6. So we'll have 4 in total.